There's been a lot of celebrating for Dale Earnhardt in this first half of the 1993 season. After a narrow defeat at Daytona, Earnhardt clamped on the rear bumper of Rusty Wallace to the checkered flag at Rockingham. And after 2 races, the point standings looked like this. Then March rolled in like a lion to Atlanta Motor Speedway, the blizzard of '93, delaying the Motorcraft 500. Finally, Morgan Shepherd took the checkered flag to the delight of the Wood brothers. And after 4 races, Earnhardt's lead was down to just 19 points. But then Earnhardt won Charlotte. And at Dover, it was a battle of the 2 Dales. Earnhardt leading Jarrett to the checkered flag. That was Dale's 3rd win of the season, followed up by a 4th victory just last week in Daytona, as Earnhardt seeks his 6th Winston Cup. Right now, the points look like this. Earnhardt has a 251 lead on Dale Jarrett. Rusty Wallace, another 94 points behind. Then, Morgan Shepherd and Ken Schrader. Sears Die-Hard Batteries, now with more power when you need it most, presents the starting grid for today's Slick 50 300. 20th career pole and 2nd of the season for Mark Martin. His Valvoline Ford on the pole. Sterling Marlin in a Ford, his first front row start this year. Jeff Gordon is in the 2nd row for the 5th time this year with Kenny Schrader, who finished 3rd at Daytona last week. Terry Labonte, 5th, best starting spot of the year. Jeff Burton won last July here in a Busch Series event. Davey Allison, winner at Richmond in March, and Ernie Irvan, who won a last lap thriller at Talladega this May. The Daytona 500 champ Dale Jarrett and Ricky Rudd, who won at Michigan last month. In row 6, Jimmy Spencer with a lot of Busch experience here, and Michael Waltrip. Row number 7, Jimmy Hensley, who has the Busch qualifying record here, and Morgan Shepherd, who won at Atlanta on TNN. Joe Nemechek makes his first Winston Cup start ever, and Rick Wilson, the main event. Then Lake Speed, the former Darlington winner and 3-time Winston Cup champ Darrell Waltrip. In row 12, Brett Bodine is looking for his first win since 1990, and Dale Earnhardt starts way back in 24th. Worst all year for him. Kenny Wallace won a Busch race here in 91, and Rick Mast did so in 1990. Jeff Bodine, who won the Sears Point race in May, and Bobby Hillin. Then Harry Gant, who's a 2-time veteran here at New Hampshire, and Greg Sachs, the 85 Daytona 400 winner. Wally Dallenbach starts in row number 16, along with Hut Strickland. Then it's Rusty Wallace, 4-time race winner this year, deep in the field, and Dave Marcus makes his 727th Winston Cup start. Former Rookie of the Year Ken Bouchard returns to the tour. Jerry O'Neill from New York State outside. Then Dick Trickle in the Raymont car, and Derek Cope, the 90 Daytona winner. Bill Parsons, he's won at Talladega, and Jimmy Means makes his 448th career start. Boy, my ears here are all messed up. All right, my left.
Collie Mambas here.
On the left side. Okay, Dennis Baxter, please raise the Q level to us as opposed to Patty, because she's much louder than Q, please. More program, thank you.
I can tape that after the next break.
Okay. 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 Call them through like we always do. That'll work.
I don't think you're looking for 2 more pace laps.
I think you're right.
Got a little bit of cloud cover today.
That'll help them. Forget, look at this one.
Yeah. Will that one not tighten up?
Flop.
Okay.
Mark Martin is real nervous in his car because of that sealer that they put down. Steve Mills just told me that he was real worried about trying to lead the first lap, getting in there real hard, afraid the car will get away from him. So they're going to be kind of light-footing it through there.
This is 2 to go. 2 to go. Back at Loudon, New Hampshire. Bob Beer's beautiful 1 mile super speedway about to drop the green on its first Winston Cup race. He'll be riding along with Mark Martin from the pole in his Jack Roush Valvoline Ford. There he is next to Sterling Marlin. There's your dome light camera looking over Mark's shoulder straight ahead. And we've got a face cam over on the driver's side that can also see down the left side of that car, and the roof cam on Mark Martin's car to show you what he says, what he sees as he looks ahead at the pace car. Jimmy Spencer in the Meineke Mufflers Tic Tac Ford, the Bobby Allison car, former national modified champion. He'll be riding with him today. There's the onboard race cam in Jimmy Spencer's machine. And a look out the right window of Jimmy Spencer's car and off the rear bumper, looking back at Jimmy Hensley. Also, leading rookie on the tour, Jeff Gordon, and his DuPont Hendrick Chevrolet. We'll show you from Jeff Gordon this view as they come down for the start. Jeff Gordon grabs for the shifter, looking off the rear roof, and here they come, green flag. Mark Martin leads them into one. Last night they put a bit of sealer down up in turn number 3, the extreme heat. Martin a little tentative about flying off down there to lead lap 1 down in turn number 3, but here he comes with it. Marlin is second, Gordon is third, Schrader. And a side-by-side fight for fourth. You're riding with Jimmy Spencer. Just ahead, Dale Jarrett, Mike Waltrip. Now with Jeff Gordon in third place. Out of turn 4 to complete lap 1, the first ever Winston Cup lap at New Hampshire National or in New England. Up. Around goes the 0 car of Jeff Burton. Ken Schrader with him, and he couldn't save it. Ernie Irvan got into it. And Burton goes up to the wall. A tough debut for the Phil Martossi team in Winston Cup racing. And Jeff Burton, one of the best flat track drivers in the Busch Grand National Series, ends up in the fence.
Josh really tough about that. After he lost it around, the 4 car come by. It looked like a tangle with the 4. They're coming back to the start-finish line.
Mike Burton is back in the race. He's back up to speed. He's off the wall and coming around now.
Chevrolet Corvette pace car will pick him up down in turn 1.
Ernie Irvan has some front end damage on his car. When he come by, I noticed a lot of smoke off the right front corner of his car.
We'll be running our TNN 800 number throughout this telecast. You can call in toll-free with your questions about this event. The call is free, 800-451-7331, all throughout today's telecast. We're under caution. We'll be right back.
It looked like Schrader just got under him, and he didn't see him come down on him.
I think you're right. Thank you. Okay. Dennis Patty is still quite loud dust compared to program, at least to me.
It's going to be a few laps, Patty. They're not going.
Yeah, they got to sort scoring here. Okay. Melissa, now let me have the infrared sheet, please. Thank you.
Ooh, a lot of damage on the front of the 4 car.
Right rear.
Yeah.
Look at the right front, though.
Okay. Darrell got a horrible start. Didn't he? Wasn't that him dropping back on the start?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. He's in the pits now. Something must happen.
Schrader. They're beating on it. Okay.
Like they were trying to see if something was rubbing in the steering. Right front.
Or when you hit somebody, like, you know, that just barely touch, but it can move a lot of things.
You can't get it in gear or something. There you go.
Okay. I don't suppose Burton wants to talk to us on the radio. But what happened? Probably not.
1 to go, Patty.